So Joey, small mastermind here. Feel free to chime in and ask questions. But I think if you understand this and if you market it correctly with all the investor that you have, I think your chance of closing. I just talked with a guy in Colorado yesterday. This is national. He got 8 deal pending right now, and all he does is assumable, nothing else. And he
Wow.
advertises it on Bigger Pocket. So he would go on Bigger Pocket. He would use, I can show you later, there's a lot of website that you can screen for assumable deal like this with VA loan, FHA loan. They have their buy box. You can filter out all the loan that is FHA and VA. And all he does is put in the marketing material, put in a spreadsheet, and then he market the heck out of it on Bigger Pocket. And he get ton of investor in Colorado. Why you don't think
Yeah.
that's cash flow? He generate cash flow in Colorado.
Wow, wow, that's just awesome. So a little bit on my end questions on this part is usually the buyer will working directly with the loan me our as a real estate agent are during the process are we gonna help them with anything?
So you pretty much taking a back seat and become a facilitator, just like me right now. So it's
Yeah,
really important in the beginning. So I think your job as a real estate agent on this particular case is actually using a website like assumable.io. You identify the deal, make sure it's cash flow, make sure it check all the box for the investor, and then you put the offer in. Once
yeah,
the offer get accepted and when you set expectation, this is the key. The buyer have to know that they might have to go to hell or might be a lot of trouble to get the loan assumed. This is not an easy process. Very paperwork intensive. Like I say, the lender they open up, they're a lot more easier to work with now, but you might run into a bad coordinator. And then
yeah.
you know this big company, they have a coordinator of a
Oh,
coordinator. And then when the message actually get to the underwriting, it's all messed up. And then you have to restart the process all over again. So a lot of stuff like that.
oh,
They wait for 1 week to tell you that you're missing a checkbox and then you have to resubmit the entire thing. So stuff like that, prep the buyer in advance. Hey, Mr. Buyer, this is 3%. If you can get it, this is amazing. But if you're willing to go to the battle, I'm gonna go to the battle with you. So act as the facilitator of the process. But the cool thing about this thing, when you sit on the Asian side, is that the buyer is actually the one who do all the work. You got nothing to do with this. Yeah, I would love to
oh,
be on the buyer, and in fact, I'm preparing my income tax so that way I can buy more home the traditional way. But if you just want to sit on this thing as a buyer, as a real estate agent, Joey, you don't do shit.
oh. We
Except
gotta
that
be
you know
there
you
to motivate our buyer through the process
exactly.
too.
Exactly. Yeah. So make
Yeah,
sure whenever they finish a doc, just help them double check them. Make sure, you know, all the duck line up before you send it off to the lender. Because when you send it off to the lender, if you
yeah,
miss the checkbox, it's gonna take them a week to tell you that they missed a checkbox. And then all of a sudden you just wait a week for a checkbox. Yeah.
that's really good to know. Yeah, maybe I want to try one or two Ks to see how it works to get it
Yeah.
going for
So
this one. Yeah,
yeah, so the way to start, if you want to note this down, you know, it's called assumable.io. You have to pay
yeah,
for it, right? You can look for it on HAR or on your
yeah.
MLS, but it just take a lot of time. You have to go through it, and I'm not sure if there's even a filter to filter for FHA and VA loan.
Oh, yeah,
Those are the two. Those are the only two type of loan, or actually, USDA loan is assumable as well. So any government loan you can assume, not conventional loan. Conventional loan they have a due on sale clause.
yeah.
Yeah, and you cannot assume a due on sale clause, conventional loan. But VA, FHA, USDA loan, anybody can assume it. And what I was gonna say, so far, VA they seem to be the easiest to work with right now, just from my experience. They actually have a department that say the VA loan assumption department to actually work on your case.
Oh,
Yeah, so they
this
actually
is
know the process. They're gonna send you like a welcome package. It has all the form that you need to fill out, all the loan. They may or may not have a process, and they have to like mumble and jumble around with you, and that's why it take a long time. Yeah, because nobody
yeah.
do that enough 3 years ago. Like nobody do assumable loan. Why would you assume a loan where you can go out and get a new loan for 2%, 3%? But nowadays, this department they're getting so active, and I would say compared to the deal that I'm doing right now compared to the deal that I did earlier last year, it's day and night now. Like the loan coordinator that I talked to, she seemed like she's start doing it for a year now and she know what she's doing. Yeah. Yeah. Amanda, do you have any experience with assumable loan?
I've never done one, and it makes sense because there's so many great interest rates out there. Now I think what is it, high sixes or sevens you're paying. It's
Yeah.
really hard to cash flow, especially with insurance and things like that. So it's
Mhm.
always, oh, I wish I would have bought 5 years ago. I wish I would have done this, but you almost get to capitalize on the people
Mhm.
who did
Yeah.
and that opportunity. How do
Yeah.
you
And
find, how do you find that? Is that people are marketing it on MLS, or you just ask, hey, what is your interest rate?
yeah, so I just share with Joey. You can find it on the MLS, but it's hard. I don't think in HAR there's a filter for us to do the VA loan or FHA loan. It has to have a VA, FHA loan or USDA loan. Any government issue loan is assumable. Yeah, so if there's a filter for that, that's great. But I actually pay $20 for this website. It's called assumable.io.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is national. If you in Austin, you can do it. If you're in Colorado, you can do it. It basically screen your area for all the VA, FHA, and USDA loan, and then they put that into a spreadsheet with the interest rate, with the mortgage amount. So that way you kind of identify which one you can go after, and you just call the listing agent, and hopefully that listing agent they know what is an assumable loan is. Yeah.
that's
Now, Hui, how do you do that for an investment?
Investment, you can assume like any investor, they can assume FHA and VA loan. So like I explained to Joey earlier, the reason everybody can assume I can assume a loan and move in right now, but the problem with first-time home buyer or just a typical retail buyer, number one, they don't have the determined to go to all of this paperwork nightmare to get a loan assumed. It's still a little bit difficult. Investor, they don't mind. They know what is it at the end of the tunnel, 2%, 3%. They willing, they're willing to go to all the paperwork bullshit in order to get into that loan. So that's why you prefer to work with investor until, this thing get a little better. But as far as answering your question, but yeah, investor anybody can assume FHA, VA, and USDA loan. You just have to come up with a down payment, which is another thing that why investor is the prime customer for this. Not all the first-time home buyer they're gonna have 50 or $60,000 down payment because when you ask the seller to go through this process with you, it's gonna create a lot of stress and time on their end as well. So if they're gonna put up with this, they rather sell this at the asking price. So you have to come up with a different. If you're a great negotiator, you can lowball them, make them come out with no equity. By all means, go for it. But from in my experience, once the seller agreed to go to this with you, there's a lot of paperwork they have to do on their end as well. They am more than likely they're gonna ask for asking price, and you have to cough up the money for that in the down payment.
so if they're asking for 150 and they owe 100, you
Mhm.
assume the loan for 100 and you need the cash for the 50.
Yeah, you need the cash. Yeah. There's actually the process to us to finance a $50,000, but it's just too complicated. I don't want to get into it.
There's another this kind of remind me of a program that EXP had offered last week. It's called More. And I don't know if you guys heard of it, but it's like a lender that like EXP kind of advertised for them, where they did owner financing slash contract for deed. So they take the best of the two and they combine. So if the owner has, let's say, interest of 2 or 3%, you come to them and say, hey, this lender is going to qualify me as if I'm a regular conventional buyer, but then you're going to finance it to me, let's say at 4.99. So you still get the cash flow from the interest, and then it's like a balloon for 3 or 5 years, and then by the end of that balloon time, they'll get all of their equity back. So my down payment would be what's paid for the realtor
Interesting.
fees and all of the other stuff, and the cost is only 1% for buyer and 1% for seller, which if we can negotiate that into the contract and say, hey, I'll cover the cost for you if that's what you're concerned, but they still qualify the buyers, and it's not like a private loan, or it's not like a owner financing where they don't know anything about you.
Interesting. Okay. If you have the information on that lender, go ahead and text that in the group chat and then let me review that in a little bit. Yeah, it could work for some people and then we can advertise that to the correct people. Yeah, but Joey, let me know if you have any other question. I think not a lot of people they do this yet. So if you start to do it now, we're still early in the process. Even like myself, I have to explain to the listing agents like, hey, look, your listing is 100 day, right? The seller they're gonna fire you at any moment now. I'm your last hope to get this thing sold and get your commission, 3% commission. So I normally target the listing that is long on the market, 100 day on the market or more. If you talk to a listing agent and they just list their house for 1 or 2 days, more than likely they don't even encourage the buyer to go with this because I know it's going to be a while until they can get the commission check. But if the listing agent they already desperate, it's 100 day, you can easily get them on their side to talk to the seller and say, hey, this guy, he's gonna go to loan assumption, and then you educate the listing agent, and then you guys go through this together. From my experience, when I filter, VA loan seem to be the easiest right now, and then I always prioritize listing that is over 100 days in the market. They are so excited when I call them instead of one listing that just get listed on 1 or 2 days. Yeah. So I would do those because this is a lot of moving parts. So you need everybody to be on the same page. Even the seller is desperate. I give him a paperwork, he send it back to me in 5 minutes. That's what you want, not like a day or 2 days.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand that part too. Yeah, I may pick your mind on those when I have a case later on too. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially in your in your line of work, Joey, because you're in nail, a lot of nail people they have cash sitting aside. So
Mhm.
maybe if you can, number one, back to the beginning, just have a regular mortgage officer, your friend, just qualify them first to make sure they actually qualify to buy a house at 6%. So that way you over qualify them before you get them into the loan assumption process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Any Amanda, were you gonna say something?
No, I saw Suzanne hopped on here. I was talking to her about how you were talking about creative ways to purchase properties, either low interest rates or low prices. And she said she knows a lot about tax sales. And so I was going to see if she wanted to share that.
Okay, yeah, tax sale is gonna be another animal, but Suzanne, go ahead.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Doing good. Good to see you here today.
Great, good to see you also. Yeah, I know. I don't think we've done a class on tax sales right quick. I was just going to show everybody right quick the way to kind of look at them so you can start playing with it. And we probably could do a whole class on tax sales. What I focus on, first of all, when I go to a tax sale, I see a lot of realtors that are bidding for their investors. So I'm not sure what they charge their investor. I'm sure they charge a premium to stand there. But tax sales by law can only occur the first Tuesday of every month in every county in the state. So 10 o'clock in the morning, I would get there at 8:30. You need to have some type of proof of funds that you show the county before the auction starts. Most of the time, they'll have two auctions. One will be for bank foreclosures. So you don't have to wait really for a foreclosure to go to foreclosure. You can actually buy it on the courthouse steps. And people that didn't pay their back taxes, by the time it really goes to auction, you can buy those at the courthouse steps. I bought several lots. If they don't sell it, can I share my screen right quick and I'll show you this website? Amanda, I don't know if you need to.
I think I made you co-host. See if it works.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this website, LGBS, that's Linebarger, Goggins, Blair, and Sampson. They do almost all the tax sales for all the counties in Texas. And you can put your location in, like I did Houston, I did Harris County. And just show you this right quick. So struck off, if you look right here, struck off is red. You can come up here and it says sell types. It'll have future resale, the ones that are coming up for sale this next month, and the ones that are struck off. If they're struck off, that means nobody bid on them at the tax sale. So I bought some lots in a terrible trailer park area years ago. Nobody bid on them. There was 14 lots. The county I was bidding in, they have a minimum bid of $400. I bid $600 on each of these lots because I wanted to outbid somebody else. And I won 9 of them. Then you turn around and the lot sales out there are like $15,000 to $25,000 a lot. So then you advertise the lot for sale. So I give 600 for it. You advertise a lot for sale for 15,000 and they have to put $1,000 down. And then you owner finance it for $400 a month or whatever for a long period of time, but you get all your money back in your down payment. So on the strike off though, you want to look at anything before you bid on it because you could be bidding on a median or a drainage ditch or anything like that. But you can actually get the address and you click on it. It tells you about it. It says what the minimum bid is, and they cannot charge you more than a minimum bid, but the bid can go above that. So
So just to make sure I understand, the struck off is stuff that people they haven't bid on.
that's correct. So you
And
went to,
how do you make sure the title is the title on this type of thing always scare me away.
so you're buying it from the courthouse steps. The sheriff is standing up there. It's a sheriff's cell. So they've done all their paperwork and they guarantee you have a clean, they're
Oh,
wiping off the lien, if you will.
oh, okay.
They've already done all the serving of paperwork and everything that they need to do to to be on a strike off.
Ah,
And sorry, I just thought my charger was going out. But
What about all the regular sale? Is it gonna be?
Yes. So the regular ones, let me pull that up right quick. I'm sorry. Just a second. Charger was going out.
I'm going to
Um,
show
so
that
the-
in the chat box.
Yeah, so right here, if you look at up here and you do the sale, like what's coming up for the next sale, you'll see a lot more. You see all the blue dots, and
Yeah.
then all of them will come up. You could click on the one that you are interested in. And then you can also see like up here, you can do future sales. But if it's blue, then that's coming up in the very next sale that they're going to have. So if you look at the very first one on PickFair, it says value 55,000, estimated minimum bid 24,000, if you will. So you can buy that for 24,000. But if somebody else comes along and they bid 30,000, the overage goes to the owner that lost their property. So the county can't make any money on it. They give that overage to the person. So they don't care if they get over or not. They just want to sell it for what the taxes are owed on it. You can see
Oh, okay.
that one says 1,344,000, and the minimum bid on that's 12,000. So you want to keep an eye on it up till the tax day, because somebody will come the day before the sale and pay their back taxes so they don't lose their property.
I
But
see.
be prepared and have several properties in mind that you want to bid on, because you can flip those yourself and make money, or you can buy those for your investor and make some kind of deal with them on, how you get paid on that.
Yeah. So I'm always concerned about the title, but if you buy it from the courthouse step, the title is clean, and are they gonna give you like what kind of title? Like a warranty deed or?
Yeah, so you'll get a sheriff tax sale deed is what they call it. It's what it'll say on
Tax
the
sale
top
deed. Okay.
for this particular kind of sale. And then when it goes to the title company, this tax sale deed from the sheriff's office means they owed back taxes. These were paid. We took it legally. We sold it to this person. So I will
Okay.
tell you that if it's a lot, just a piece of land, the owner has 6 months to buy it back. Now, I've never had that happen, but they can buy land back for up to 6 months. So
Okay.
you might hold it for 6 months, but on a house, they have up to 2 years. If it was like their home house, they have up to 2 years to buy it back. You'd have to read some rules on that. Again, I've never had that happen, but the ways you can make money on that is you can rent it back to the person who lost it, maybe even sell it back to the person who lost it, and you add more money onto it. You don't have to do that.
So they have 6 months to buy back the lot, and how do they normally find you?
Yeah, but if they buy the lot, they don't just have to buy it for what you gave for it. There's like fees that you charge. You make money on them buying it back from you. Because they've got to pay you like a convenience fee. There's fees
Oh,
for that. And I'd have to read some more about that. Like I said, I've never had that happen, but I know that's the rule is you don't want to sell a house for 2 years. So if you do a house, you want to rent it out for 2 years, and then you can sell it, because they can come back and get that when it's a tax sale. On the foreclosures though, I don't believe they can come back. So there's usually 2 sales at the tax office. One, they'll do one whole group of foreclosures first, and they'll do one whole group of tax sales first. And you can even do, if you owner financed it to someone and you've got to foreclose on them, you go stand up there yourself and you read out to the people, this is what it is. Worst case scenario, somebody pays off that other person's debt to you. And the best case scenario is you get your property back and you get to sell it again.
interesting.
Yeah. So
So,
anyway,
so this website, can you buy directly on this website, or this is just more like an informational site, and then you still have to go to the county to buy them in person?
that's correct. So you cannot buy them over the internet. You have to be standing on the courthouse steps, or you have somebody stand there for you. You see this, that second one says status is canceled. Somebody probably paid their taxes or did a payment arrangement or something. But you can see this one is still for sale here on the top. So you just go through them and you really want to look at them and spend some time before the sale and
Okay.
see where that property is, maybe drive by. Because one time I was going to bid on an acre, and it was the cul-de-sac. It was the center of a subdivision street, like the roundabout. It was that. So I
I
guess
see.
the landowner sold all the lots around it, but he kept the cul-de-sac, and then he just didn't pay taxes on it. So the county took it. Nobody would buy it. So from
I
then on,
see.
the county owns it. But when it struck off, then you have a sheet that you go to the county and you fill out a sheet. It's called a bid sheet. And like the auctions are the first Tuesday of every month. And then you can usually turn in a bid sheet that following Friday. and say, okay, I'm going to bid $600 or whatever that county's minimum bid is on that. And if there's not other people bidding against you, you're going to automatically get it. They'll vote on it the next week or so. And within 2 weeks, you find out if you won that. It's almost like a blind bid when you do it on the tax sheet. But I've won I bid cheap if I win it, if I don't. I bid like if the minimum bid for the county is 400, I bid 600. And sometimes you win them. You know what I see? It's the most money is mineral rights. Like they could say a mineral right is worth $10,000. It'll go for 4 or 5 times what it is on the tax sale. Every county has a list also. So if you're in Harris County, you can go to their appraisal district on their website and they'll have it posted usually the week before or so, all the houses that they have coming up on the tax sale, but you can always come to Linebarger. They do the whole state.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my little tidbit there, but someday we could do something with that. But if you have an investor that has money and I'm looking for a good deal, look at the tax sales and maybe go bid for them. You can do that. They just have to come and pay by 4 o'clock that same day.
Oh, 4 o'clock. Okay, got it. Cool, cool.
Now, Suzanne, what does it mean when it says struck off versus resale or like different coding?
So resale is you're bidding, I'm at the courthouse steps and I'm bidding, I can buy that. But something comes across like those lots that I bought was a really terrible area. People probably didn't want it. Like you might consider the third ward or what, you might go find lots there for $500 or nobody bids on them. Then it's called struck off. It is struck off the list from the auction because nobody wanted it. So then you go do a bid sheet at the county and you bid on it that following Friday, if you will. And that's struck off. Struck off is the best deals. They're probably the worst properties, but the best deals. So on a struck off, just think about everybody's got to have somewhere to live. So you could buy these terrible lots, or they might have a terrible trailer house on it that needs to be redone or something. And you can owner finance it and make your down payment be what you gave for the property. So no matter what, it's not a loss. See what I mean? But we can do a class on that sometimes and spend a lot of time on it. But you're always welcome to message me too. And I'm happy to help you. But that's every Tuesday in every single county in the state, every Tuesday morning.
Yep.
First Tuesday. That website is so helpful to be able to actually visualize and see all across Texas.
Oh,
Yep.
it's addictive too. Yeah. When you start looking at it, looking at all the properties and going, oh, I could get this for $16,000 and it's worth $70,000. And then you could flip it and fix it up and, rent it out and make your money back. And then you have to have a little bit of money to hold on to it. That's why I like doing the lots, because I can do a lease to own or a lease purchase and tell that person, look, I bought this at the tax sale. So if the owner comes back, they have 6 months. So I'll rent it to you then, and I'll finance it to you after that. Or just hold on to it for the 6 months and owner finance it, or just sell it outright.
Yeah.
So you have lots of options. That's a good way to make money. I think a lot more people are realizing that and going to the tax sales, but it's really a lot of fun. It's like an auction. You have a real auction person up there and it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there was actually some people that try to host the seminar on this, but then the moment that you show up, they try to sell you the service related to this. Have you ever been to one of those?
No, I'm so, girl, I've been so in real estate and so old into stuff. I just go, if you learn, just go. That's your class. Go there and just watch them for a day. You'll learn a lot. And no, like with here, we all help each other. Like Amanda's successful, Lee's successful. Our whole goal is to help people that are under us or newer or what have you to be successful, because the people under us are our tomorrow. So we don't want to just have people sign up and not teach them anything. So no, these are all our classes here are free and our knowledge is free. Sometimes if you hire a personal coach, you have to pay for that. Or if I do a deal with you, I expect to split because I'm going to work the whole deal with you. But on our sessions every Tuesday, we're here to help you, and it's free. So yeah, you don't have to sign up for things like that. Just ask us because we're all happy to help you.
That could be a fun team legacy thing. We all go to the courthouse and just experience it. I've never been before, and I've heard some stories that it's beautiful chaos and it's an experience.
I like it, but I don't have little children at home and I can get up and go, and I normally have a purpose when I go, but It's pretty neat. I think it's neat. Like the lots is what did it for me. It's been several years ago, but it was 14 lots. And like I said, I won 9 of them and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't
Wow.
got those for $600 a piece. It was really one of the best deals I ever did.
So if you ever buy it, because you said there's some realtors that actually bought it for their clients,
Yes.
so then they'll just fund the money and then they'll sell it to their clients after, or like, how does that work?
No, they'll have a letter from the bank or some kind of proof of funds that you show the county like the day before or the morning before the sale. It's better to go the day before. And they'll give you a paddle, just like you're at an auction. So you're bidding for your client if you're doing it for your client. So your client says, I want 50 acres. And you've already gone over the list and said, hey, this 50 acres is still for sale. They're wanting 50,000. And he'll say, okay, bid up to 70,000. So you know what your budget is for your investor. And you may charge him 10%. If I win, I want a 10% premium or something. So you're not really a realtor in that. You're more of you're doing a job for your investor.
Got it. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you could go there and bid, and then your investor could show up before 4 p.m. and just pay for them.
Yeah, he'll have to come, or you'll just get a cashier's check. You'll go meet him. You want it convenient for them. You'll go meet him and get a cashier's check, or you'll already have that kind of lined up for the exact amount. They don't make change. You have to have everything.
And you have
Exact.
to get cashier check, like no wires, ACH or any of that.
Yeah, I think that they might accept, they might take a check. I'm not positive. I have to go on the website and look, but you can go to your county website and look. But I think they do take a check, but I'm not 100% positive, but pretty sure they do.
Okay.
But you might as well get a cashier's check because it's easy.
All right.
But yeah, I have sold lots in the beginning before I found out about you're supposed to, they have 6 months to come back. And I haven't ever gotten in trouble, but I tell everybody now so that just prepare to hold on to them for 6 months so that you don't get in trouble. Or like I said, lease a lot. Right now, you guys are probably seeing it all over because I'm seeing it a lot in Harris County, but outside the city limits, people are buying like 20 acres and they're renting spots for people to put their manufactured homes on. And
Interesting.
There's
yeah,
those in Katy right now.
So for the lot, but 6 months when the previous owner can buy back. What about for home?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. So you want to rent the house out for 2 years and then sell it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the next time they're gonna have it's gonna be September 2nd?
That's correct. Yeah.
Right.
Every county's different. So check with your county. A lot of the counties have their own list and Linebarger might not have an updated list. Sometimes at the county, you'll find more properties than you do on the Linebarger Association on their website. But you can go to your county website and it'll say publications and click on publications and it'll have the auction list. It'll also have the strike off list and it'll have a bid sheet all on their website.
Okay. And this
Yeah.
is strictly tax sale, not HOA sales.
So the HOA sales can also be at the tax house, at the court steps. Thank you. The foreclosures, tax sales, HOA sales, and I want to say HOA supersedes, like they get paid their money. Like HOA usually gets paid their money. It's probably included in the tax sale, something like that. But yeah, everybody has to give notice. You pay for the constable to go out and serve somebody. So you'll see constable sale. You'll see one that says tax sale and then one that says constable sale. And the constable's also foreclosures, HOAs, things like that. So sometimes you get great deals and sometimes you don't.
I think this is so important going into Q4 because as realtors, we see so much opportunity and we tell our clients or we give them to an investor. And I think that this is a good opportunity for us when the market dips for us to get creative and find a way that we build our portfolios and we buy land and we do assumable loans and we work the system for ourselves too. That way we can be true investors.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll add this one little thing too. This is just like a side note, not having to do with that, but I'm into water, utilities. I'm into utilities quite a bit. And you've all heard of data centers coming all over, Bitcoin mining centers and things like that. And they're all looking for land. So if you come across big pieces of land that has the huge metal power going through them, just not the wooden power poles, but the big metal ones, I would mark those pieces of land and try to get a hold of their owners and see if they'd be interested in selling. But when you go to them, you want to have a plan. That could be a whole nother class about how you would approach owners for things that are not on the market, and how you would get with a buyer to assure they're going to buy it before you go to that owner, because you don't want to ask the owner, are you thinking about selling? You want to say, I'll give you this. This is what you can have. You want to go ready. You want to be different than somebody else.
Oh, Suzanne, what is the buy box for your land? Can you say that one more time?
Power, electricity.
Oh, yeah. So power with the big metal power poles, the huge A-frames nobody wants to live by. That's
I
what
was
those
gonna say
are.
about the same thing, because usually the stigma is that you live right there and you have cancer or something like that. So usually it's so hard to sell residential in that area.
Yeah, so it says, I think you need to be like 1,100 feet away from your first house, but that's not our focus here. Our focus
Right.
is all these people. Texas is short electricity, so that's why you're seeing solar farms. They're paying people, when you see these solar panels on people's land, they're paying them $400 a year per acre is what the average is so you have 100 acres. Say you have 100 acres with the solar farm, they want 750 plus acres. So let's just say you have 1,000 acres. Your first few years, you don't make money because they're doing like due diligence. I think they have a 4-year period or something. But then you have 1,000 acres and they do a 30 to 50-year lease. You get $400,000 a year for that 50 years.
And you still own the
400,000 a
land.
year, and they maintain it because they give you $400 an acre.
Wow.
And they're looking for the places that have the big power lines. And then lastly, I'd like to say that we have a shortage of water in our state. And I've been to lots of water conventions. You may not have heard about it, but if you Google it, several water companies are going up 300% this year. Water is our next goal. By 2080, we are going to be short of water. Our grandkids are not going to have enough water. And we don't see it right now, but Austin has already started. You're only allowed to water once a week if you live in Austin. Dallas is fixing to pass it. They are trucking water from East Texas to Dallas. You're going to have to pay trucking fees for that. So if you find a great water aquifer area, you're going to see people are going to be buying those up. People in the know are looking for areas that have a great water table under the land, because that's our future goal. So just
We're so
in.
lucky in Houston, we don't really see that. But in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they're trying to do a lot of construction and they're struggling because people own land that doesn't have water. It's like, how third world country does that feel? But Dallas-Fort Worth area has property that cannot get water. And so now the developers are paying different companies from different cities to ship in water, and they're almost borrowing it. It's just the craziest thing. I can't believe
Yes. Yes, you can look up. It's either Boyd or Reno. It's in Wise County. They did a 10,000 home subdivision, and they've had to stop selling the homes because there's no water. And now this year, the state has passed that if you do any subdivision, I don't care if it's 2 acres, you have to have a water feasibility study if you don't have public water available to them already.
That's a good
So
project.
what is the criteria when you look for opportunity for land like this?
Yeah.
You repeat that?
Yes, so every area, really, Austin is one of the best places that has a great aquifer, and West Texas has a great aquifer, and East Texas has a great aquifer. So like here, I'm in Parker County, and our deepest aquifer is the Trinity River, which in some areas is 500 feet, 550 feet or so. And then we have a Paluxy aquifer, which is 200 feet. But if you want to do a commercial well, you want to go to the deepest stream, which was, for me, is the Trinity. So I can't think of the name of the one because I wasn't prepared for this, or I would have had some notes, but there's a big one in Austin, and I'm looking there for an investor because if you own the land and you can get the mineral, see, you don't really get water rights anymore. Like Amanda and I have water rights on some wells, but it's very hard to get water rights now because it's like a mineral. And so if you don't own it already, somebody probably owns it, the state's going to get it, something. Yeah.
Edwards Aquifer is what you're thinking of.
The what? Edwards Aquifer. Yes, yes. And
Help me out. I'm really slow on this. What is aquifer?
oh, an aquifer is like a gigantic river underground.
Okay.
It flows. It could flow from Colorado and New Mexico down to Texas, and then eventually it goes out to the coast, out to the ocean. It's just, you might not physically see it on top of the earth, but there's fractures in the earth, and the water moves through the rock and through the fractures. Have you ever been to like Carlsbad Caverns or something, and you see some cracks in the earth or underground caves where there's underground rivers that
I see.
and some places are in drought and they can't get to those waters. And all over the state, we're in a great state for water. There's still a lot of areas we don't have a pipeline for. It'd be so great if we had a pipeline that could take the flood waters and pump it to an area that's in drought, but we don't have that. So the only way they can do it is to truck the water over ground. There's underground and overground, and above ground, of course, a lake. They dig a big reservoir, they save the water, and they pump it out and ship it to other parts to fill up where they're short of water. And they're doing that right now. You just don't hear about it. I know, because I stay in the loop of that. It's coming. Water's our next gold, I guarantee it.
Okay.
If you find anything that has a lot of acreage between minerals and electricity and power plants and solar power and water, she will find a buyer for you. And if it's none of that stuff, she'll teach you how to subdivide it. That's my next project now that Mason's like slowly giving me some time freedom. I think that land is gold. That is such a great investment. It's not a lot of taxes. It's not a lot of overhead. And there's so much wealth. And we're not making any more of it. Like, you're going to eventually run out of it.
Yeah, I have this meeting coming up. It's coming up on this week on the 21st. I'm like nervous and I always get nervous and excited, all the feels. But this is 150 acres that I'm working on. And if you have, it doesn't matter if you're right in the middle of the city limits. If you have more than 25 acres, you have a right to have your own water company. You can service that 25 acres. So this is 150 acres. I'm doing phase one that has 50 acres. We're making 41 acre lots. Well, 1 acre lots is if you have to have septic. My investor, he has a friend from somewhere else who really knew his stuff. He says, what if we do our own sewer system and water system? It's almost like you make your own mini city.
Yeah, I heard people doing that.
Yeah, and we get the money back with the mud, and forever you have income. So this is my first subdivision to actually be an active part of. We're asking permission from the county to allow us to make our own little city, if you will, inside the county, our own water well system and our own sewer system, because then you can have 8,000 square feet lots instead of 43,000 square foot lots. You get so many more lots out of the property.
Interesting.
Talk about an investor's dream, though. Hey, you're going to get paid now, then you're going to get paid forever because you'll always have water there. And I know she was also working on, and there's one in Katy right now that they're building, where they take the land, they divide it out, they make all these little plats, and then people put their little RVs or mobile homes on them, and they sign 2, 3, 4, 5-year leases, and they rent the land forever.
Interesting.
Then you always own the property. You own the land.
I looked at that one in Katy because my investor who has that 150 acres wants to sell like the first 50 acres worth of land, and he'll get all of his money back. And then the rest of it, he wants to do a rental community. So he keeps it all. But the one in Katy, I think they're 20 acres, 20. And I think they make about $55,000 a month on renting their spots. And there's no taxes on the manufactured homes because they're all personal property. Everybody owns their manufactured home. You only own the land. So you don't have to pay taxes on any of those houses sitting on that land. They're property. Isn't that great?
I love that. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry I took up so much of your time. I hope it was informative.
Oh, this is good. My head exploded. Joey, I think your head exploded as well. So a lot of stuff to come back and see and focus on. Like a lot of stuff we talk on it, we have to figure out a time if it's really for you, and then you put it into action.
Yeah. There's just so many ways to invest in real estate, especially in Houston. There's so many avenues of wealth, and the stuff that she does is so big scale. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. And usually we think, oh, that's for other people. That's for people in the government or multimillionaires or syndications or something way cooler than us. But she just jumps in.
We just use their money. I don't have the money to do this 150 acre subdivision. We use their money. And in this case, I charge them per lot instead of a percent. And I still get to be the realtor when they put the 50 houses, 40 houses on 50 acres. I still get to be the realtor, but I get paid per lot also for doing the subdivision. And I don't make any money unless I make it happen. And every time I go to a meeting, I'm terrified. You can ask Amanda. I'm like, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. And then everybody's so nice to me and it goes so great. And they say, you need to do this, or yes, this is great. I try to be prepared when I go to the meeting, and I'm always nice. I don't care if they really make you mad and they treat you like you're dumb. You just be really nice to them over and over again, and it'll come back. It'll be good.
Very good. Very good. Good stuff. Anything else, Amanda? This is the mastermind for me. I learned so much.
Information overload. It's so helpful. Thank you for popping on and sharing that. It's something that I think has taken her 10 years to learn and trial and error. And it's so cool for us just to get to pick it up in a Zoom over
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, this is a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think once we start doing it, it's good that we can always call Suzanne and ask her the technical detail once you get into it.
Yeah. So go find some land. So I was talking to Hui, I think next Tuesday and moving forward on Tuesdays, we're going to try to do a realtor of the week where we recognize one realtor in our Team Legacy family and say, hey, this is something amazing that you're doing. This is why I think that you should be the realtor of the week. This is like something so awesome and special about you. And then they're going to give a little class. It'll be short, like 10, 20 minutes, but we'll also get to interview them and ask them questions, almost podcast style. And I think that's great for us because yes, you learn a lot from us. And God, mom just popped on, and she's my mom, by the way. She popped on and she just blew our mind with stuff that we'd never know. And you don't really get to learn from other people unless you have them on that platform. So each week we're going to get to nominate a new realtor of the week. If you guys have someone in mind that you just love to learn from, and we're going to interview them. And you guys can also ask some questions. And I think it'll be really engaging and impactful.
I'm gonna go ahead and nominate Joey for next week because he just hit Icon Asian. So I'm
Ooh.
interested
Yeah.
to see what is he doing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. So Joey, you up for next week? Can we interview you?
Oh, yes, I'm
There
up
you
for
go.
that. Yeah.
All right, Amanda, we have our first client.
So exciting.
All right, I get a
Yes.
flyer up. Just help us prepare like a 10-15 minute talk presentation on the step that you take for to hit icon. It could be mindset, it could be technical, totally up to you. And then me and Amanda, we're just gonna review you with fun question.
Yes, I prepared.
Yay.
Yay.
Do a three-way text with his email address. We'll get that started and prepare and market it. And then we'll go from it's just awesome. You'll get to bring value just like Suzanne just did to the group, and we'll really grow. I really want to grow this Tuesday thing and make it impactful and mix it up.
Perfect.
For sure. Yeah. Looking
Perfect.
forward for that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, see you next Tuesday. We get the marketing up.